Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of no ages.
I don't know why he always includes children. I apologize.
I love children.
Please keep your children away from us.
That's for the little edition of this.
Little edition.
Yes, not for this
Be
one.
So Brewed, the littles.
Not for the small people, just for the
Listen, we don't
children, small people.
we don't segregate out like that. We're just saying keep the children away from this one. Believe me.
Especially with Tom Casey around.
Yeah, if you've got kids around, time to put it away.
I don't even think we said it. Don't be so brewed.
Word.
And a matter of fact, let me crack this. But you know what, Jason? Why don't you crack this for me?
Yeah, buddy.
It's Jason's birthday, guys.
That's right.
Woo!
Birthday boy.
And you know what? Jason's a seltzer
I
boy.
got a sweet strawberry seltzer from Bud Light.
Well, it was strawberry or mango. I couldn't remember. You said strawberry watermelon. I feel like here's the thing. There was an episode that was never released,
Fruity is
where
fruity.
we learned that
Not
Jason's
so very.
really into some fruity
Look, you
club
guys-
soda waters.
If you guys want a little Truly with some vodka and a little bit of strawberry additive, I'm telling you.
All I
it's
gotta
gonna
say
change
is mocha latte is sounding pretty freaking manly right now.
Yeah, because that 6.5% alcohol by volume in your mocha is really manly.
It's a lot more manly than that.
For the
How many
true
ounce? 25?
Boys, back to your
25
corners.
fluid
Ready?
ounces.
Let's get it on.
And this is the guy who made fun of me for bringing him a watermelon beer.
Huh?
That thing was delicious. The watermelon beer I brought.
I didn't say that was bad.
Hey man, if it was
I
mixed
like
with
the high
seltzer,
water.
he would have drinking it.
I like the high water.
I'm
Hella
telling
high
you.
watermelon.
Yeah, there you go.
We got on this whole topic of Waterloos and LaCroix and all this stuff, and Jason's like, I mean, listen,
a
a
little
truly
vodka
every
in
once
it.
in a while, yeah.
Throw a little vodka in it.
He's like,
you're
I'm down.
I'm telling you right now.
I could see that.
Listen,
Yeah.
he's trying to man
See,
it up a
okay,
little bit
see, I don't
more
mean it.
recently with like the vodka thing. He was like, there was a sentence that came out of his mouth that was
Tom
like,
Casey, our manly man in here, who was deadlifting earlier, we had to do a little late filming because he had to go in and deadlift and get into his workout.
listen, he's
Squats
trying to keep
today.
himself
Squats
accountable.
Gotta get his bend on.
He's trying to keep himself accountable.
doing some squats.
He was doing some squatches.
He had to get his bend over.
I'm probably
Let me
going to need a little.
let me
gonna
just
need
throw-
a back reset after.
Let me just throw the boot up.
I
in
know
the
a guy.
air for
I've
you
trained
two.
Scott really well. Don't worry.
Throw my boot up.
Yeah.
I'll be back at the gym tomorrow.
So can you talk about what happened? Because I actually wasn't here, and Scott told me, and I'm like, let's just.
So it was
let's
kind of
just-
weird. He was up on the ceiling roof of the studio, laying down some sound dampening carpet material, and all of a sudden it's like
Because priority number one is making sure the studio.
he looks over at me.
Of
and
course.
He's like, dude, I just jacked up my ankle. I think I think my ankle came out of its socket, and he's like kind of walking over to the edge, and he sits down, and he's like, this really hurts.
Like my ankle's legit, like hanging. It was out of the joint, hanging down.
And I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to do? I'm
He's
thinking
like,
do you want
you're
me to
9
like?
foot in the air on top of a room. What am I supposed
I'm
to
like,
do? Can I help
how
you?
could I help you? Like, I'm gonna yank on it. I mean, what do you want me to do? You know?
I said yes to that, but everything else I was like, no, it's cool. I can do it by myself.
Yank
We're
on
like 3 minutes into this episode, and Scott's already driving at me. You want me to yank on it?
In all fairness, he did tell no children to be listening.
That's right.
Children of no
That's
age.
why.
No age.
Yeah.
Talking about yanking on it. His leg.
His ankle.
His ankle. Sorry.
Could I,
Let
you
me
know,
make sure
could I do
specify.
some
specified.
like
Yeah, up the
could I
leg.
get some like lethal weapon and like yank his ankle back into its socket like they did with the shoulder and I didn't know.
No.
So I just held the ladder as he
Ankles are not like
hobbled down
shoulders.
and, didn't put too much weight on it. So.
Yeah, so I'm having an issue. At first, I thought it was going to be my Achilles because I had really
Tell you all about
sprained
that.
Like
and messed
day
up my
before
ankle.
his birthday. I mean, it's how you know you're getting old.
Right. That's how you're getting real old. I was squatting in like the catcher's position when it happened on top of the roof. But so I messed up my ankle last year about this time. I rolled it pretty bad.
Oh yeah, playing softball, right? Yeah.
And so I was like, man, this is just lingering. And
Gotta
finally,
stop playing with your balls, man.
finally, I'm like,
Yeah, you
maybe
got to start yanking on it
maybe it just
instead.
lingered that long, and I finally snapped the Achilles. Well, so I started doing some reading.
Bro, don't
And
do
the
that.
statement that I see pretty consistent throughout it is, you can't go to your toes.
You're covering your face up. Jason,
That's
you,
really good.
Jason, you can't see,
Great.
Jason, you can't see out the window.
Listen, if you're getting close to an Achilles tendon tear and you feel like that's happening, there's a lot of
Well,
rehab things that you can do. I had to have Achilles tendon surgery. Don't do it.
well, so
Sounds awful.
the
Yeah,
the
it's
statement that I got
it's
on there
over a
was
year's
you
worth of
can't- you
recovery.
can't go up on your toes, so you can't put pressure down.
Yes.
That has no that feels good. to
Okay.
me. So what it is when I pull it back. Like if you're doing the heel or calf stretch,
Yeah.
and you put your toe up against the wall and you're leaning into it, that's where like
So that's
that's scary to me. Like it.
Then you
like,
probably shouldn't do that anymore.
well, I don't do that, but that's why
I'm sort of a doctor. Where does it hurt?
just the tip of the leg
Just the
at
tip.
the ankle.
Down by your heel?
Yeah, it's right
just
by the
above
heel.
it.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you go like you put your toe up against the
Flex my
wall,
toe back towards my shin.
you don't feel a stretch up behind your knee. You feel it
Nope,
back there.
It's just back down there.
Yeah, you need to start doing some
Is it
rehab on that.
Is it too toit?
We're gonna have
It's
to.
way too
We're gonna have
tight.
to enroll you in some broga.
Yep.
There you go. Well, I think
Scott will teach you.
we talked about that. I mean, that's kind of part of our.
We already
news
know he's
recap.
good at
I've been waiting
grabbing
for,
his ankles.
I've been waiting for the Scott yoga invite.
Yeah,
Hasn't
let's
come
just
yet.
talk about this. It's one of the things we want to talk about. We on the last episode, if you guys missed it, we got on the whole New Year, New Me topic, which we all call bullshit on, and then we jumped on the train anyway. So listen, and Tom Casey, of course, decided to. How much alcohol is in that?
5% alcohol by volume for 100 calories.
Well, are you
Good
gonna
boy.
introduce Tom Casey before you start talking?
He
about
already
Tom Casey?
did.
That's a good number. Good ratio
High
of calories
percentage,
to alcohol.
Yeah. Well,
Jason already did it.
Oh, yeah?
Guys, Tom's here. If you didn't know it, Tom, by the way, is here.
or a favorite fan.
Yes,
Favorite.
Yeah, however you want to look at it. He's
Yeah.
always on our lives.
not the guy from MySpace. Different guy.
Different Tom from
Which
MySpace.
had his money.
This guy actually lifts weights, sort of, allegedly. We've heard.
Not a lot.
He's got a gym in his garage
So do I.
That's how you know he doesn't work out.
because it's all stored in the garage.
It's like
It's all hanging on racks.
you go out there and you're like, that's looking a little dusty.
That's
Danielle-
called chalk.
That's like
They call
honey.
that chalk.
That's
Sure.
like honey.
Danielle shows
You ain't
up
got to
out there.
teach me about chalk.
Honey,
I
can you
get
wipe
it.
that off before the guys come over?
Hey, where's the leaf
Pour a bit of
blower?
water or something on.
Honey,
it.
where's the
Put it in
leaf
sweat.
blower? I gotta clean this thing out.
Can you lace that with Crisco so it looks like I've been in here a lot?
Somebody go shake a wet towel
my
around. It's
gosh.
sweaty in here.
He planning stuff. He's like, oh yeah, I did some push-ups there. See where I drip sweat.
Notice I got straps sitting over there.
He's
I'm
hosing-
almost certain
he's hosing-
Taco does that every morning.
He's hosing himself off and putting sweat angels on the floor.
For sure.
But Tom joined our
He jumped in.
accountability.
Dr. Casey Sanders, Banana Man, that was also on one of our episodes. He jumped in too. He messaged me and was
Really?
just like, hey, here's my check-in. I ran. I did this. I was like, hey, man, cool. If you want in. So if you jump in, I just start tagging you in my morning
Yeah,
thing
so
on
I don't have any
Instagram.
Tom. I told
Yeah.
him,
So if you watched our live the other night, you'll see how well we've been succeeding with this. After each downing about a half of Papa John's pizza,
Yeah.
courtesy of Dr. Brandon Brown.
Hey, listen, I set my parameters, still followed them. Anything that's while live and broadcasted on television or on our channels doesn't count. The
No,
only time I'm
calories-
allowed to drink beer
It's vacation
is when we're
time.
doing
Calories
this.
don't count when we're on camera.
So here's the things that I'm doing because we never really, we said like I want to hit a certain weight and we did some other things. So for me, I'm going 60 days with no sugar. I'm waking up 6 days a week at 6:30 every morning at least. That's the latest I can get up, and I got to go do something. So I wake up and if I'm not feeling it that morning, like I'll just go walk, like literally make myself get out of bed, get dressed. It's been cold as shit lately,
Thanks for
so
getting dressed
literally.
before you
Yeah,
go for
appreciate
a
that
walk.
one.
What?
We
Hey,
appreciate you.
on
getting
behalf of your
dressed.
neighbors. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't want to be that cold.
Shrinkage, Jerry. Shrinkage.
I've been
right.
following my intermittent fasting as best I can. Obviously, did not for the fight the other night, but I'm like, we weren't holding back anything at that point.
Well, we had
it's a
40
fight.
seconds, we were spending $65
Yeah, we
on
thought we were going to get at least 2 rounds. We thought we were going to get a good 10 minutes of something. Then we're like, well, that's over. All right, guys, I guess we'll leave.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being on the live cast with us.
And so
Con Gable kind of got the short end of the stick.
working out and doing stuff like that. But those have basically been my parameters. And for me, that's been creating just discipline for me in my schedule that's been carrying over into my business. I think it's been carrying over into this. Like, I feel like for us right now, like things are really moving crazy well.
We're in a good spot.
Yeah, and the momentum is crazy. So I'm trying to do everything I can to keep it as best I can. That was my thing.
See, and I'm up for the losing the weight, but I can't. It's just it doesn't happen for me that way. I don't.
We
know
got to
what-
figure out what it is that you need to eat.
I'm
Like,
getting big as fuck right now. I'll tell you that much. Like chest is getting back out there.
look good.
Arms
You're-
are getting bigger out there. My
you're
waist is
trimming
going
up.
a little smaller, but the weight's just not coming off for me.
are you
So,
still doing that? Like, eat once, twice a day?
Yeah.
I think you might need to eat more often. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I think you might need to eat more frequently.
You heard me say. You heard it me earlier. We were hanging out up here after another meeting that we had, and man, the individual that was up here talking to us about podcast stuff, like thought the HVAC turned on and it was my stomach growling right about 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Right
we
before
fixed
we had lunch. Yeah.
So Chick-fil-A came to the rescue.
I know. Tom, what are your? I know you were beating up on a bag the other night. That was all I was informed of.
Beating a bag.
Yeah. He wasn't tugging on it though.
No, I wasn't.
Sure, that wasn't a
But
sack.
Yanking on it.
Sure it was a bag and not
I
a sack.
subscribe to basically calories in versus calories out. I haven't found through any of my research I've done, and in these crack diets you hear online and all that other fun stuff, really works. Other than the tried and true calories in, calories out.
Right.
I don't know if you guys know who Lane Norton is, Dr. Lane Norton.
No.
He
Tom's
started.
always got all these guys.
Sounds like a quack to me.
Doesn't
Keep
sound
going
like-
anyway.
Well,
Doesn't sound like
he's
anyone
been
would come
around for like
across in our research.
in bodybuilding circles since 2003.
So our circle.
Yeah. I've been in that circuit for quite a while. Keep going. Yeah, how did I forget about
My
him?
bodybuilding club's a lot different than everybody else's.
Well, the
You
short
just built
of
yours
it,
differently. It's fine.
the short of it is that he got a PhD in protein synthesis
Does that
at
mean he's a
University of
chiropractor?
Illinois. Won a couple.
You can get a
awards and
PhD
stuff.
in that?
Yeah, that was.
In just that?
And that makes him a real doctor.
Ooh.
I mean,
How's the backcracking business, brother? Sorry, I bumped
I'm
the table.
okay. I'm okay with the backcracking thing. But basically, he always goes out there like the Game Changers movie. He went out and he said all of this is crap, and he went line by line with actual university studies, backup info, rather than fear mongering. And he calls it out, and he basically says to any of my clients,
Paid content.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically what he says is that it's calories in versus calories out. There's no special diet that'll get you there. Just try to make sure you get enough protein to make sure that your body's recovering. That's it. And he had him and Dom D'Agostino are good friends. Dom D'Agostino's like the keto guy. He basically invented the keto diet for the most part, or at least he grew it to where it is now. And
That diet wasn't initially invented for the way that everybody's using it now.
no, it was
right?
meant for
No.
SEALs,
Yeah.
Navy SEALs, and diving to eliminate guys who are getting seizures from prolonged periods underwater and quick dives. So go down real fast, come up real fast,
Okay.
and that would some guys would seize, creating
The
problems.
bends and all that stuff.
Yeah, get
Well, yeah,
bounced.
I was about to say, that's part of the issue is there's really no way around that. You start getting
Well,
nitric oxide built up in the
without
bloodstream.
regard,
Exactly.
we're a huge fan that Tom's joined in on it. We're getting some more check-ins on it. It's helping motivate back and forth. I took a couple days off because of this boot being on, but I'll be back in the gym tomorrow morning. I'll have my Instagram post back up and be tagging in all of you, especially because today's my birthday. I wanted to sleep in. Called in, took a day off.
It's a good wake-up call. Every time you guys hit me, I'm either like on the toilet or laying in bed.
I know he messages me and he's like, I'm either like taking a shit or I'm doing. And I'm like, well, get your ass up. Like, let's
He's losing
go.
weight. Calm down. He's losing weight.
Sleep's a big factor.
Technically,
Huge factor.
He's technically losing
It is a
weight.
huge
Because if
factor.
I'm sleeping, I can't eat. You know what I mean?
This-
That's
True.
why sleep is so important.
This is my
I'm on the
intermittent fast.
sleep diet. It's like, what's that? It's like, well, basically, I sleep all the time, and so then I can't
So
eat.
then I can't
That's
eat.
exactly right.
How's that working out for you? It's all worked out about the same.
I'm still.
I mean,
chubby.
it's essentially what you're talking about. I've
Calorie
putting
deficit is
things
the way to go.
putting things through the ringer because people are always going to ask me my
He's a
my
foodie,
recommendations.
so
So I've
putting things
tried
in my body.
a lot of different things.
because he knew what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I've
So
done it a few times myself.
I've tried a lot of different
like,
ones,
I
and
believe
there's
I got ahead
the
of
two
that.
biggest ones that I've liked are macros, which is almost like what you're talking about. It's based off of your activity and the amount that you need of each, protein, carb, fat.
Absolutely.
And then intermittent fasting. So I basically do a combo of that where I'm fasting through a portion of the day and then I try to make sure I hit my macros in the other window that I have. And that's pretty much been what I've done lately. I'm still kind of playing around with it just to see if it's what's most beneficial. I
Right.
can't really say that I gave it its due diligence because over the holidays, staying with my family, just no holding back on anything. It was like, oh, that? I'm going to eat that too.
Yeah.
And that?
Gonna eat that too.
Hey, what are we having
gonna
for
drink
breakfast?
that
My
too.
mom's like pancakes. I'm like, yep, I'll have me some of those too.
I ate deep dish like 3 times in 5 days.
Yeah,
Pretty-
come on.
Pretty legit.
I was gonna say I had deep dish 2 days in a row because there's one of my favorite places, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get that too. Oh, and I'm gonna do that.
Where were you?
I was in Tulsa.
They have deep dish there?
Tulsa,
Hey man,
Oklahoma.
it just came out.
No, it didn't just come out. It's a place called Savastano's. It's
So-
fine.
One of the things when we were coming,
You couldn't even name probably a pizza place.
In Tulsa? No.
No, where you're from.
Where I'm from?
Yeah, give me your go-to place.
I don't know if it's still there or not, but Pizza Kingdom was pretty righteous. We had Danino's, which was pretty righteous.
I think he's just making shit up now.
But it's the neat ones. Well, so when you're coming
What was the
on
one with the mouse?
What kind of food is
Chuck E.
it?
Cheese,
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
The mouse.
the one where they make. Have you heard about the?
well, it's headquartered here in Dallas.
Yeah, but have you heard about the
Yeah.
thing about they take old slices from other pizzas and they'll put them together? Like somebody will get a pizza that's brought out to them and the
Hey, you
pizza
know what?
edges don't match up.
I swear they had something about that on The Simpsons.
Fresh cheese goes a long way.
Oh, I'm sure. Dude, The Simpsons predicts the future. Have you seen that?
Yes.
There's like
Oh,
this
yeah.
whole theory where it's like this happened
Broncos winning the
12
Super
years.
Bowl.
Yeah, it's like 12 years later this happened. You know, before FaceTime existed, they used it. And then something. It's like they have all these things. And it's like, dude, just tell us that you're a time traveler. That's all we want to know. It's
Well,
like
they-
the guy that writes it. It's like,
I don't
just
need him-
admit it.
I don't need him
They've
to
done like
tell
a
me.
thousand,
I can read
bajillion
between.
episodes.
I can read between the lines. I get it.
So there's
I ain't messing with the dude.
there's a
Nancy Cartwright.
One.
there's a South Park episode that's all about that. It's like The Simpsons did it. So every time like the
That's
boys
good.
decide they're gonna do an episode or they're gonna write a story, they're like Simpsons did it. Like how about like dinosaurs take over? Simpsons did it.
Yep.
How about dome covers the city? Simpsons did it.
It's like trying to come up with an idea, and it's like
Individual-
they've been around so long. How would you ever,
like
know?
what 35 seasons right now or
Yeah,
33 seasons?
something crazy.
35, or they
I
just
just
signed up
remember
for
growing up
35.
on that
That's
stuff. Like
insane.
I couldn't wait.
That's
The
insane.
Halloween special, you know.
Treehouse of
Yes.
Horrors.
That
Yep.
was the best. The Treehouse of Horrors. It was
Oh,
like
you're
a
just
family
waiting. You're
thing.
like,
The
yes.
longest running
FXX.
television show in history.
FXX pretty regularly has them on Marathon, which is one of my favorite things to sit down.
Disney
Well, they're on
Plus.
Disney Plus now.
I've been binging through it. I'm on season
Yup.
5 right now.
Damn.
I've been through 'em.
That's how New Year, New Me's going over here. He's like,
When
yeah,
he's
bro,
on-
I'm binging this
I'm
out in the gym,
I'm hitting the bag out in the gym.
Little donuts.
working my
My trainer.
fingers. It's
Well,
fine.
all right. So Tom is a favorite fan of ours because he's always on our lives. We've drank together a good number of times.
This is
He's-
Tom.
A few times.
Tom
pretty good
has
at
no
that.
life.
He drained half of
sits
a
at
tank
home.
of Hurricanes at my Mardi Gras party last year.
Yes, I did.
Hey,
Says
and
he burned his car. He had to put new grass in. He had to put new sod in because he says he burned it out when he puked the next
I
morning.
burned a hole in the grass. Yes.
damn.
Good Hurricanes for the record.
Can we put a RIP in the comments for him? By the way, he's a Bears fan, so they have Trubisky. So
in all fairness,
and they're committed to him. I'm sorry.
God.
What did they re-sign him?
It's
What
like
happened?
being committed
No, they're
to,
just
a
like they've
terrible
come out
girlfriend.
like we're sticking with him. We're not going anywhere with
should have
this.
never
Like he's
picked
our guy.
Mahomes, is what he says.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Never
Terrible
wished it-
idea.
I saw your post today where you're like, "Oh, I'm so glad
swear
we
that's-
passed on that Mahomes guy."
I swear
So
to-
glad we did
I
that.
swear that's at least the second time I've seen you post
Third.
that
Third.
exact same comment.
That's funny.
Well, it was the second one because the first one was when Mahomes and Watson went after each other 2 weeks ago,
Right.
And they both looked just
Way
incredible.
better.
And there was they had this article that came out in the Trib about why Ryan Pace drafted Trubisky over both of them. He didn't even interview Deshaun Watson, and he went 6 hours with Trubisky, and he thought that guy knows more football than Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson is a bright kid, and everyone, it's easy for them to fall into the like everyone's saying he's not going to make it at the next level. He's not going to be the quarterback.
It's too bad he barely won a national championship
Yeah.
at Clemson.
Deshaun Watson's the guy that we watched the other night at the Parsons that
definitely.
got
He beat
sandwiched
Tebow.
by those
Yeah.
two guys and came
came
like
out. Yeah, I know
came out of it and threw a touchdown pass or whatever. We're like, dude, that's incredible.
Insane.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Lamar? Didn't we? Was that Lamar or was it? Deshaun?
No, that was Deshaun.
Okay.
Lamar
Oh, that's
did
what-
not show up when we watched him.
Yeah.
He was not there. He was seen doing this a lot. Whipping his chin
the
strap
chin
off.
strap.
God.
I'm gonna do this all myself.
Well, and all
And then he
the
did nothing.
Colin Cowherd is one of my favorite guys to watch when it comes to talking about sports. Was like, look at the difference between the Chiefs and how they responded to being down 24-0, and look at how the Ravens responded when they were technically still way more in the game than the Chiefs were.
Right.
The Chiefs weren't pouting; they weren't going to the sideline.
They got it done.
They were collected. They were just like, hey, Mahomes is going, guys, don't be trying to do extra. Just catch the ball. Just do what we got to do.
Defense will do their job.
And we were recording a podcast. We went and grabbed OMG tacos. We're eating. We're like,
this is over.
yeah, Jason like walked to go grab something, came back. I'm like, bro, it's already 21-0. He's like, what happened? I'm like, they muffed a punt. I'm like, so literally we come up here to record a podcast and we stop watching. We're like, well, this isn't
like
anything.
pretty much at the half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put the uniforms on different people, and a whole different team came out. And
Yeah,
they
we
See,
literally
that's really what it looked
destroyed.
like.
We literally
In a matter
walked
of
in here
10
and did
minutes.
that.
Yeah.
It was like-
we recorded a podcast. In the middle, he pulls his phone up to check.
It was like they went in and swapped out with the
just
all.
happened?
I know, and they're looking at me. I'm like, you're not going to guess this score. And I'm like, you going at halftime up by 4 points?
Do we want to cut this podcast
Dude.
off and turn the game on?
I know, we're like,
we were actually like,
They came back out. It was like the all Madden team came out. It was like, what the hell?
I think it was like the line was like plus 4.5 for Houston, and I was like, that sounds about right. Yeah, I'm playing that one. And then they go up 21-0. I'm like, nice,
Yeah.
looking good. Gotta put my feet up and go do something else. Come back in an hour and a half. What?
Yeah.
so
I mean-
well, we've been on this topic for a minute, so I wanted to move because you come on here and we say, hey, look, we run a tight ship. You don't get to make the rules when you come on Don't Be So Brewed. You listen to us.
Yeah, we make the rules, there are no rules.
But Tom, what do you want to talk about when you get here? And Tom says he wants to talk about virginity. Virginity.
No, I wanted to talk about Tim Tebow.
And his lack of virginity is what came out of your mouth.
Current.
You want to talk
True.
about
So he said to me first, and then y'all came in here, and he was like, I got to talk about Tebow. It's number one on the board.
When I'm thinking about things, Tebow's genitalia is really on forefront of.
Well, that's
Tom
very
Casey's mind,
specific.
apparently.
Your brain went like all the way to like Tebow's junk.
I just want to see if I can.
We're just talking about the act in
I
which
just want to see if I can
he.
get
I was
Tom's
just
face
thinking.
as red as his
I was
beard.
just thinking that Pornhub just lost a very big client.
There's no way he went near internet porn. No way.
I don't know, man.
No.
Can't for his image.
I don't know.
People would be
Not in
searching that.
public. Not in public.
They IP background IP.
You know what?
Oh yeah, somebody.
You know what?
Somebody's got.
Did you not hear about what
Let's
happened to
see.
Kamaru Usman at UFC 246? His Twitter got hacked. The
Look.
person put out his debit card number, the PIN. Like
Look,
they had released all this stuff on him.
If Tim Tebow's willing to let us into his cell phone and verify, then I'll believe you.
I don't understand why he
Because
wouldn't.
that's never gonna happen.
you
That's
know he
why you
wasn't-
can say shit like that.
You know he
course.
wasn't sending dick pics. He might have been getting some pics.
Kind of like Scott jumping on this New Year, New Me thing that we're doing. That's why I was trying to set a punishment for this.
I'm trying new beer.
Andy Gator, Abita Springs.
Yeah.
All right,
Andy Gator,
Tom.
that's it.
Rarely do we ever hand this over. The reins are yours. Lead us through
Tell-
this conversation
tell
of
us
Tim
about
Tebow's
Tebow.
virginity.
All right. So
You
obviously
seem
we
studied.
know-
And how did
Really,
you
Tebow.
and how did you take it away?
So
I mean, take it away, Tom.
And how was it?
We almost got seltzer on Trevor.
well, I was looking at topics, and I'm not really good with the popular culture. I'm not very well versed in that.
Yeah,
I'd
we
say.
know based on your music choices the last time we all hung out at a wine society.
Look, man.
What's wrong with my music
Look,
choices?
man. Leave the virginity
It's
monitor alone.
It was
okay?
literally like one thing. I can't remember what band it was. But
Slayer.
we're talking
I
about
like Slayer.
I forget
Sorry.
what we're talking about. All different kinds of music, and he's like, "Nah, bro, Slayer." And we're like, bring something else up, and we're like, "Man, that's an." And he's like, "Nah, bro,
No,
but like
bro.
Slayer."
I remember
There
that
was,
conversation.
yeah, but you're
We
taking
were
this out of
thrashed
context.
that night.
Yes,
We were.
yes,
Never.
and that's the only thing he would bring up. And that was when we talked about Garth Brooks and his alter ego.
Yeah.
Yes, and I had to Google that.
Chris Gaines,
Jeremy
that's
brought
it.
that up. Yes.
Chris Gaines.
And he's like, "This doesn't exist." We're like, "Dude, look, this is a thing."
All right, so let him tell us.
Okay, back to
about
your
Tim
virginity.
and,
I mean,
virginity.
Tebow's virginity.
I just,
So how'd you take it?
I was just really taken back by that he got engaged to Miss Universe
Hey, keep
from a
that on
couple
your
years
mouth.
ago.
Who?
He got married to a Miss Universe from a few years ago, and they got married this weekend. And Tim Tebow is well known for his vow of celibacy, and I just found it very interesting that a professional athlete of his caliber, college athlete of his caliber, was able to.
Hey, he's got a playoff win or two.
He's got a
got
national
two
two national championships.
Well, and
He's
he's
got
all
two
over the
NFL
SEC.
playoffs.
Isn't he still one of the SEC broadcaster? Like they
Yeah.
brought him in for
Big
that. Like
ESPN dude.
Yep.
I
Plays
like him for
professional
doing that
baseball.
stuff. I'd rather him do that.
So how do you know this happened? Did you see the Tim Tebow virginity video on Pornhub? Or?
No, but I'm assuming.
So you marry Miss Universe. Let's just say that.
Isn't she
36 years
South
of
African?
celibacy,
Yes.
that
She's-
wedding night was quick.
She's
That wedding night was
That wedding
South
minute?
African.
That wedding night was quick.
That wedding
2
minute.
minute
was-
vows and then sprinted to the hotel room.
The vows were
38
longer.
seconds later,
Dance.
after waiting for an elevator.
Yeah. If it was a documentary, it would just have a blank black sheet that would say 37 seconds later.
It would be like SpongeBob.
8 years later. 8 seconds
2
later.
hours later. Scott has
40-year-old
no idea what the hell
version.
you're talking
Alright,
about. He's
go get
so
it.
lost.
I'm just. This is a great.
That's such a
topic.
classic meme, and he's like,
Have we
"What?"
gotten Tim on? I mean, are we off of Tim yet? I mean, what are we doing?
I mean,
Are
we
you?
can move on. I found it just
the
peachy.
the next thing, though,
Dude, his wife is, I mean, come on.
Miss Universe.
She's
She's
South African.
and
Man.
Miss Universe.
Great accent.
I mean-
well done, pulling off South African. I don't know.
South African?
Good job.
No, that's not good at all. Actually,
No?
It's Australian
That's
if
not
it be
He
a-
doesn't know. What the?
You-
Ask him to
Australian
do one.
You don't have.
Ask
any-
him to do one.
I can't do South African. But
South
I've got
African?
some South African friends, and they don't sound
South
like that.
African?
every
That might be
every
South
accent-
Australia.
We'll let them vote.
I think
South
that's
African?
I think that's South Australia on
every
fire.
accent-
No,
he
they're
has-
very similar.
Every accent he has,
They're not.
however, does sound Russian.
They are actually just Australians go up. It's very weird. It goes up. And South African, it's more down.
Down.
Boom. School.
Anyway,
We'll let you take that one.
Brandon,
whatever.
you wanted to talk about something else too that I
Speaking of
didn't
Tebow.
think was necessarily.
Speaking of Tebow, how ridiculous would that have been if he just completely
Now I've
shifted and
gotta-
he did this?
Now I've got to bring a South African on just to have this voice contest.
All right, ladies,
Good-
you better
good
get
thing I know,
buckled
so.
in. You better get buckled in, ladies, because you're about to crucify us.
Wants to talk with
now
us
let's-
about the Bachelor.
Now let's talk about.
Okay, I
something
need
know
everyone at the table to
absolutely
admit whether
nothing
they've
about.
watched this show before ever.
No.
I have never watched.
Very often.
I
Very
don't think.
often.
I don't think probably at least since I've been in Texas.
I know more about football than I do about The Bachelor.
And he
Wait,
don't
no,
know
no,
shit
no.
about football, so
We stopped watching.
He can
about
identify
2
one
years
at
ago
Academy.
when we realized we put in like
who's we?
my wife and I.
Oh,
we
yeah.
realized we put in like 200 hours of watching The Bachelor in 1 year, like the Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelorette, and Bachelor. And we were
I will
both
watch
like,
the Bachelor in
This
Paradise
is ridiculous
stuff. I will watch this like the competition.
But you
ones.
feel like you have to like watch everything else to understand the characters.
Scott, see what I opened up here?
they're all trash. They're
This
all,
is why.
every one's of them is trash.
So, I've got a little caveat. I have a buddy of mine.
Caveat. That's just,
I've got
that's
two
a
buddies.
Chicago.
We're talking about Bachelor, and you're
Yeah.
like, I got a caveat.
Is this,
Yeah,
a,
well,
is this a
I've-
virginity
I've got a
thing? Are we
friend
still on the virginity
who-
topic?
Was a producer on the show, and another friend who was a contestant on the show.
Humble brag.
Are they together now?
No. But the contestant got thrown under completely
Under
by
what?
the production staff.
Under what?
Like, made to look like a
Under all
giant
kinds
jerk.
of things.
Well, they have to. They're creating a story. It's bullshit. It's not reality TV.
Drama.
And the producer had no idea who won the episode I was telling him about. Like, who, like, I think it was the one with
The
Aaron
episode?
Rodgers' brother.
Oh yeah.
He had
Gotcha.
no
Yep.
idea who actually won it. They just spun it to a way that actually looked like, you know, there was drama and all this other stuff. But they don't tell even the executive producers.
So
of the
I
show.
grew up a city away from one of the Bachelors, the one that killed a guy, that ran him over in a hit and run accident.
On the show?
No, it was
That would have been good TV.
Scott's like,
drama.
I'm in. What season's that?
it was
Seriously.
shortly after
I need
that.
season, episode, and how many minutes in.
the Iowa guy, Chris something or another, but he grew up
Okay, that was very insensitive. Sorry.
10, 15 minutes away from us. Like he ran somebody over in a DUI accident after the show was over. So he was on The Bachelorette, became The Bachelor, ran somebody over, killed him. I'm pretty positive that was the story I remember. But I think he's in jail right now actually for it. So that's about the extent of what
That's
I know.
a-
I never even saw.
So
There goes
basically,
his
what we've
influencer
determined is
status
this
at
is
the
a sandwich
Nobody
of
check mark for
this
Chris
is a sandwich of
anymore.
guys who don't watch this and guys who do watch this. I bring this up because it was trending on Twitter and I was looking for some stuff to talk about. But I think the standard
but
that we have out
there's
there
only a number of
within dating is very strange. Girls, from what I understand, bitch and complain about, oh, we want guys that are just solely focused on me. And I hate guys that date around
Hashtag
and all
me
this
too.
stuff. It's ridiculous. And then they all get together to have watch parties and do this ridiculous stuff when The Bachelor comes out to watch one guy date
You know
however
why,
many
right?
women it is.
It's okay if it's not happening to them.
Right.
Well, that's for anybody. I'd be pretty.
But that's the-
Can you imagine
that's the
being in that
thing.
meat house of the Bachelorette where there's like 20 hopped up dudes on steroids just ready to like fight each other over one woman?
I mean,
That's called the real world.
I kind of
That's what it was.
like.
It's basically a spit-off.
I know.
I
I'm
kind of
like,
like to have that situation though, just to be able to be there and just be like the odd man out who's like, don't have the 19 pack. Just want to go.
So-
yeah, can we have one normal guy? This is what we always say about the Olympics.
They have that. They
And
had that on
no,
JoJo's
no,
season.
we didn't.
No, but this is what I always talk about with the Olympics. At the Olympics, you need one lane with one normal guy just to show how
not even
incredible these
normal.
athletes are.
So not the curling team?
No, look.
No. When they're swimming and you see these people and you're like, wow, that person was really fast,
Like-
and these people are all like they all really suck.
You
And I'm
gotta,
like,
you gotta
no.
understand that if you want really good TV, you gotta put a funny average person on, and see if that person can truly.
Yeah,
do-
TV
basically,
people.
this
So
is
put
like
us.
knuckleheads.
This
This is our plug.
This is how
higher.
Adam Sandler built an entire team with 68 movies.
By the way, real quick, we interrupt this to say it's Jason's birthday. And Jason, what do you want as your gift for your birthday?
I want you to like, follow, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Please subscribe on YouTube. I am on a tear and a mission to get YouTube to be a huge platform for the Don't Be So Brewed.
We all are. It's gonna get there. Our goal is to 1,000. We're trying to get there.
I was confused because Tom Casey, our guest, actually brought me a nice beer. He brought me a 2016 Smoked Porter, Alaskan Brewing Company,
I brought you a great beer too.
which happens to be a gold medal winner. Which that took me 28 minutes to drink as fast as I could.
He's like, can I get this thing down so I
For the
can just
record,
enjoy my
seltzer's
beer?
gone because I was really, really wanting my opened Andy-Gator that I opened right before it all started. So
This YouTube thing is pretty simple. Like, just go do it. Otherwise, we're gonna just have to start calling all of you, telling you to go.
There's
do
a
it.
there's a
We're gonna
red
stay
button
on the
that says
phone until it
subscribe.
happens.
Once you click it, it will say subscribed,
and
and you'll be a part of the crew. And
there's
that's
a
all we
little-
got to worry about.
There's a
Forget
little,
about it for a while.
and if you
Yep.
want to get really crazy, there's a little bell there. Click that too, and it'll tell you anytime we're on.
Allegedly, YouTube. That's their one downfall. Is their notification system sucks.
Well,
I don't think people are logged in permanently on a
They're
lot of those
listening right
situations.
now.
So. Well, I hope so.
dummy.
You just got
There's your
traumatized.
thumbnail. Everybody, make the thumbnail for Scott really quick. And we got it.
Tom
Nailed
Casey is
it.
really involved with
Yeah,
that
we
one.
just
Sorry,
knew
I-
how far in we
I'm
were.
a new guy.
This guy's new here.
Okay, Scott, I got to know what this thing is. Go for it. I feel like
wanna
we
know
beat
about
The
the thumbs
Bachelor
up.
to the point
The
of
thumbs up.
You guys
yes.
tell us about thumbs up, but that's all you
Yeah,
wanted
so
to
there's
say.
like this huge.
Beer?
Yeah, I do. I would love a beer.
So Scott came in here and we're writing down topics that we want to talk about, and Scott just goes, "I don't want to get into this topic. All I'm going to say is thumbs up, and that's all you're going to know." And we're like, "Okay."
Yeah, so
This might have
like-
to be a new thing. Somebody's going to bring in one topic, and it's just a couple. It's just a phrase.
Well, I just
like
wanted to just get this from a raw effect, I guess, you know. The first time you guys hear it, like nothing planned or pre-thought of. But I find it really interesting. Like, I love emojis, right? I mean, I think they're a great form of expressionism. And I've kind of noticed something. I do this. I think a lot of other people do it too.
I know what he's talking about. Yeah, now I know.
But
Damn
when you're
it.
at
Got it at the same
when you're
time.
at the end of a conversation, I always send the thumbs up, and it's pretty much saying,
Don't
"All
touch
right,
me.
we're fucking done here." Right?
Got
You know what I'm talking about?
Well,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Right?
It's
So,
the so I said the other day when we talked
Hey,
about this,
Brandon.
it's the new version of the
Hey,
okay.
Brandon.
You can't do that.
No, look.
Okay.
look. Hey, Tom.
We had a discussion about
No, it was about this.
Right? Like
Worse.
you sit here
This
and
is
you'd be
the-
like,
no,
"What the
it's
fuck are you
this one.
talking about?" Right?
but it's both ways because I think it's they say
Wasn't
it's
that
the
in a
same thing.
movie?
Was
Wasn't that
it?
a movie like it was in The Rock. Sean Connery gave Nicolas Cage a thumbs up, and Nicolas Cage like, what the fuck does thumbs up mean? It's like, what does this mean?
But we
Stanley Dugan.
nobody uses it in like just normal, like we all smile, we laugh, whatever, right? You know, I could relate with a lot of the emojis, but this thumbs up has become this crutch of, all right, I think we're fucking done.
End of
and,
conversation.
And the thing is, people know because after you throw that thumbs up, that's
Nobody
like
responds.
that's like I got the final word. We're done here.
I've done this in a group
doing
message
this, though.
before because they like basically discussed something, threw it out, and I was like, "That all sounds good." So I just went, "I'm like, Got it. I got all the information I need. You shared it.
Message the other day where he just threw an I in the middle of me.
That was my daughter texting you, by the way.
Okay, but now that's all right because it was Remy. But I was like, "What is?" I was waiting for him to write another end of it. Like he started hitting I and he hit send by accident.
I like come over and get my phone and I'm like looking and I'm like reading your conversation. I'm like, well, they're basically having a conversation. I'm like, oh, and my daughter chimed in with I. And then just left it. That'd be a great way to
All
start.
the supporters,
all the supporters
vote I,
and then
like,
nothing. It's like you're about to make a profound statement. I
But
have a dream on
And then
Martin
you just
Luther
leave.
King Day.
But I'd like to
That's
just
right.
try it, like, naturally in conversation. Like, all right, cool. And then just walk away.
So then,
I mean, wouldn't that be funny as shit?
so then, what do other
I want to
emojis
see
mean?
this.
So then,
Right? That'd be a good video.
I almost got to video this at work.
so then, what would others
Point
mean?
society.
No,
Perfect
you
for
can't be
this.
putting that out. That's a great viral video.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
That's
man.
That's a good idea.
Just walking around.
So then, what would you say other emojis mean when you send those?
I don't know, like some
the
of
ice
them-
cream one. Ice cream one means poop.
Yeah,
No, that's
like,
poop.
what
That's
the
not
poop
ice
emoji
cream.
is,
It's ice
right?
cream.
That's
never
not
been
ice cream.
It's always been ice cream.
You got the
look-
googly eyes, you got the heart in the eyes, you got the
Goggle.
smile, you got the frown. I mean, you've got things that kind of relate. The thumbs up, it's not. You could sit there in a conversation
You good,
with
bro?
one eyebrow up, be like,
You good, bro? Thumbs up.
like I just thinking, like, just walking around, like, hey, like two thumbs, I mean, nothing.
That means you really get it, and you really want this conversation
I really
over.
want you to shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna
Like,
start doing
hey,
that.
we're
I'm gonna do
good.
two thumbs in at the same time. Bing, bing.
Well, they gotta face each other. They don't give you that option.
Yeah, that's true.
No, bro, you got to do the fist bump. You got to do the two fists facing towards each other. You can do that.
I always do.
But you understand
I'll
that?
do the winky guy or the sunglasses with the thumb. But you have to do the thumb.
Yeah, you
first.
combo them. I like to do the rocking with the tongue out.
There you go.
See, I'm a gift guy.
See, I'm that too.
You and I, you
GIF
and I
guy.
do GIF.
But is it?
Yeah.
But is it GIF or GIF?
It's GIF.
It's totally GIF. But
The guy who-
apparently, the person who invented it
Says
says that.
GIF.
Yeah.
Hey,
But-
Jif is peanut butter.
Yeah.
All right?
Exactly.
And how do you,
Case closed.
how do
Leave it
you-
alone.
How do you spell GIF?
Get out of my face.
How do you spell gift?
GIFT.
Right. So how
So
do you
it's a
spell
GIF.
GIF
GIF.
without the t? So yes, it works.
I just want to throw
Phonetically
some.
speaking,
I was
you're
about to just
correct.
throw some random.
I'm
I
an
spelled
army-
giraffe.
I'm an army guy. We don't break it down real heavy. Like we do it real simple, quick, easy.
It's like,
to the
this
point.
is how
It's
I
like,
learned to
hey,
spell.
Indigo Tango.
Hey, let me ask you a really important question. How do you spell gift?
How do you spell gift? You're a doctor. How do you spell gift? All right.
Here, you want me to get Scott real quick? Hey, Scott, spell cal like calorie.
C-A-L.
Spell it one more time.
C-A-L.
Are you sure that's how it's spelled?
How I spell cal? Like
Yes.
Calorie?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now spell vest without the T.
V-E-S.
Okay, one more time.
V-E-S.
And you're sure about that?
No.
Now put the two together and what do they spell?
Calves.
Okay.
Galvez.
You laugh, but there's a trend going around where people go, Calvez? Like, I don't get this. And
I
I'm
would
like,
definitely say Calvez for
yeah. Damn it! I picked the wrong person.
Which means that Scott already watched 8 of those TikToks.
Yeah, I was about to
and
say, he
knew
watched that on
what was
TikTok. He's like, I know this. I'm not stupid.
What is it, TikTok?
Bring it, fucker.
It's a,
It's a social media app.
it's a game board.
It was all over the
X's
it was
and
all
O's.
over the what's it called? The airport when I was last there. It was-
Really?
Yeah, it was all over those boards, those advertising.
Oh, yeah,
boards.
dude.
I believe it.
It's a jam. I got Scotty on it. His first video got 1.2 million views.
You know how much money he made from that?
It happens.
Yeah.
0.
I've never had a
Go
video
like,
even
follow,
come.
share, and check us out on YouTube.
I've never had. Hey, we got a TikTok too. Don't Be So Brewed podcast. I've never actually had a video go that viral, but I have made money off TikTok.
All I want out of YouTube is for our friends and viewers, our brew crew, our bruisers,
No.
to all
No.
subscribe
No.
it. So that
No.
they can, what?
No.
What?
It's Brew Crew.
Whatever. I said that too.
No.
And the bruisers as
No.
well. To subscribe so I can start.
Mom and Dad are about to fight. Just sit back and let this happen.
We could start. We could
Good
start
thing he's
making
got
money
a
from
bum
advertising,
ankle. I'm gonna
and we
fucking
have
break that goddamn
no longer
boot
have to
over
pay
there.
I still don't like your chances.
to host this podcast. I want YouTube to pay to host this podcast. That's what I want. I need 1,000 subscribers for that to happen. So how about you go do it, please?
Now.
It's my
Like,
birthday. Do what I
Like,
want.
I need to get my
comment,
kids into college.
share, subscribe, subscribe.
We're just going to stop
subscribe.
and wait.
All I want.
We're going to take a pause
It's-
here
it-
so you
I
can go
don't
do
need my
that and
kids-
come
I
right
don't need my
back.
kids to college to be paid for this way. I mean, that'd be awesome. Like, I'd rather Spotify buy us and have us be a show for them at that point.
Barstool should buy us, actually, but yeah, that would work too.
Yeah. I mean, Tetherball Media could come on and buy us for all I care.
Oh yeah, that's your
Drinking Bros
that's your
guys.
Drinking Bros
Yeah.
guys.
So
I feel like you know them. You could be like, hey, listen, we have this really cool show.
man,
Hey,
I
we've
want it
got
to
real
be-
estate.
Damn straight.
I think we need some more in the new studio. I mean, that's where I'm going. I want to make a big pitch tape for after being in the studio.
No, for real. I will say,
Big pitch.
I will
The
say,
big
and you
Cavs.
guys remember this
Cavs.
conversation.
Cowboys.
We were like, we're 60 days out from doing anything in here, and it's probably been about 15 of those 60 days, and we've
Right.
already had. This is our third now being recorded in here, and every time we've had someone come in here, the level of professionalism that they express to us makes me hella excited.
I was
Until they
impressed.
hear us talk.
I walked in,
And
there, I
then we
was
start
like,
saying
wow.
poopy, and then it's like, oh, and then it all goes downhill.
Ice cream emoji.
They're like, then we start talking about that and the Bachelor, and they're like, oh, okay, never
We
mind.
drank
I
some
changed my
coffee in
mind.
a podcast
young-
Yeah.
that we recorded in here, so things went a little bit more.
We got young
smooth.
kids. I mean, that's like, you know, they're
That Scott invited to listen.
He said children of no ages.
Yeah, my
In all
daughter's
fairness,
never
he
gonna
said
hear this.
Children of no ages.
That's actually not true. If this goes where we want it to go, your daughter may listen to this one day and be like, my dad was on that show one time a long time ago.
Hey, you know what? So like last night, I was kind of bored at night. So
Uh-oh, where's this going?
so I got on.
He was
Plex.
on
Is this story safe for this?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I got on Plex and I watched Jay and Silent Bob the reboot. Have
Hell
you guys
yeah.
seen that?
I saw it
The
just come
reboot?
up.
The new one?
I saw it show up on my Plex.
It was awesome. I mean, it was dumb like normal, but it was pretty damn good.
So how is it?
I laughed a
reboot?
couple of times. They're just kind of doing their same old shit.
And it was
a
just
new
like
one.
them older. Jason
Them
Mewes and-
older. We find out that Jason's got a kid.
Oh really?
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I highly recommend it. You guys should check it out. Have
By
a
the
beer
way,
or two before
Aren't
you
all
Speaking-
those
start.
movies now on Netflix right now? I think I saw
Yeah, probably,
Clerks
man.
got dropped on there.
Is it
Probably
now?
I think
since-
what's
probably
the
since
one
this
with
new-
the Mallrats is on there
Mallrats.
too?
Mallrats.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they just dropped them back on
Probably
this
because
month.
this was getting ready to come out. This reboot
Gotcha.
came out.
Smart. Smart.
So we want to talk about stuff from that era, that age, and our time. I wrote down that I wanted to talk about the new Eminem album. I don't know if you guys have heard it yet.
I
Came
haven't
out last
listened to
Friday.
it yet.
Came out on
Not yet.
Friday.
Just what's your overall opinion of Eminem, just
Hey,
in general?
If you want a deadlift, I got some bars in the
Deadlift,
back.
bro. There's a chalk.
Yeah,
your
don't
best
don't tell me
LeBron
any
James
BS
chorus.
that there's not at least like 3 Eminem songs on your workout
Eminem
playlist.
is my favorite rapper. I love Eminem.
I'm actually surprised
I
that
have
you
not
know of Eminem
listened-
and you didn't just go, no, not Eminem, bro. Slayer.
Dude,
I have not listened to Eminem since
my
since
favorite
Encore.
Eminem is Red.
So all right. So what was your take on? Encore?
I haven't heard a single
What
song.
was your take on Encore?
Can I?
Encore, I loved Encore. I mean,
You just headbutt the mic.
No, I had to facepalm myself with a mic from. You didn't even hear what he said.
What
I
else?
said my favorite Eminem is Red.
Bread.
yeah, I caught that.
you.
Just kind of like,
He just ignored it. He was like, it was to that level.
yeah.
But I'm gonna have to volume down the headbutt of our microphone probably.
No, it hasn't been too bad.
Good dad joke. Good dad joke.
That's the end of our podcast. All right, so the new one that just came out is entitled "Music to Be Murdered By."
How many M&Ms do you think Tim Tebow had? How many green ones do you think he had before that? And
So-
I don't think that was on his rider. I'm listening.
So
Keep
it's
going.
music to be murdered by, and I will tell you, like it brought back Eminem old to me.
Really?
It brought it back. The beats are old. Eminem, his rapping and his ability to like speed rap and rhyme is impeccable. It's amazing.
Is he going at anyone specifically? Is this
Subject matter
targeted?
yes. Subject matter straight effing garbage, and it's because he became a politician.
Oh, okay.
He actually puts in there like 6 straight minutes of TV and recorded like reports of the Las Vegas shooting, like straight on, like as it's going on.
Okay.
All of that news report going, and then the next song, like almost right after it, is like opening is about some kid getting beat by his stepdad, like literally physically being beat.
That
on
was
there.
his childhood.
Right, and then then the rapping on that, and so it's like it's really anti-guns, really anti like it's kind of it's hard to follow because it's not good subject matter going through it. And it's
Like, what is
definitely-
he trying to do here? Which
Right, and it's not good music because it becomes to this point where you feel like you're reading or like a thesis statement, and you're trying to figure out like what side or what you like. Even if you have some sort of support for one side or the other, you're trying to figure out like, do I want to say that this was a good album? Do I want to say that this is good music? Do I want to say that this is a
because
good
you're not quite sure where the direction that he's going with that and how
Yeah.
it's going to be taken.
right?
Okay.
And I mean, so like if we're looking at it from like like how he produced it, how he performs in it, Eminem of old, still the greatest rapper of all time.
Did Dr. Dre produce it?
For sure.
Or
I actually don't know that. So
Okay.
I was listening to it on Spotify, new stuff Friday. It's taken me a while to get through because I hadn't been in my car a whole lot since Friday. So, I mean, I was listening to it even today, and it just I think it just like pissed me off all of a sudden. Like when I first started it, there was like 3 or 4 songs. Was really like pleased with it. Was like Eminem's back.
But getting into what he's talking about.
Yeah, so you start listening to the second, third time through it, and you start listening deeper into the music. Like early on, when I first started listening to it, like it was like, man, this is old Eminem. I'm happy. Like he's got a couple lines and some early music. It's like y'all thought I was garbage, saying I didn't have any, I didn't have anything to say. Then when I got off drugs, I got clean, and I'm back in it, and I had great things to say. Y'all said I was too intent and like on it, and I can't even remember the lines exactly on it. But he talks about like when he was really high, and he was putting garbage out for the sake of putting garbage out because
Which is funny for him to say that because that was
I want to say was that the one that he literally and it has a line in there. He's like, I'm just saying stuff to see if I could say it.
yeah, that was that song. Oh God, I can't think of the name. But yeah, it was ridiculous. He had the line about peanut butter jelly chicken tuna sandwich, and after like sticking a pen in Jessica's ass or something like that.
Yeah, like, but you want to talk about like a guy that's a lyricist, like the ability to take things and put things together. Like you just listen
Hands
to him,
down,
like
still
throw
the
things
greatest-
together.
The
Yeah,
greatest of all time. Like the guy is unstoppable on it.
Nas is probably better, but
I mean, but not from a mass production standpoint, in my opinion. I think
Okay.
Nas definitely has.
it's got that underground root.
Yes, I mean he definitely has that. I mean, so I'm a huge OAR fan, right? And OAR is definitely one of those where everybody knows 3 or 4 songs from OAR.
Yep.
But most people, like Crazy Game of Poker,
Every frat party.
right? It's totally back hatwards,
back hatwards. Yep.
but
Leave him alone. He's deadlifting after this.
I got chalk on my hands, bro. But like there's not a lot of people who know their entire catalog, and Nas is very much the same way. Eminem is, I don't know. Heck, I'd go straight out there to. Oh man, I can't say things like that. I was gonna say like 3 Doors Down or something. Like everybody knows
Jesus.
when the song starts, they know the words to all the music.
Well, yeah, I was about
I
to
don't
say
mean
those
it by, like,
are.
they're an equivalent band or a music.
No, I can
by
remember
any
being that
means.
person in college. Like I'm the person that remembers the lyrics and like that stuff. You're just going through it and you're like, I can. You start playing an
Yeah.
Eminem song, I know the majority of the lyrics to that
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the stuff that I grew up on. I love that. And I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet, but it sounds like a weird play on like trying to go with this political like
Yeah,
mass
very much
shooting
so.
stuff with the name of the album of like Music to Me Murder. It's just a very weird like. It sounds like he's trying to tie that in. Like I haven't listened to it, but it sounds like there's some weird correlation. But to even do
So
it is
here's-
very.
here's the thing,
About
is-
killing. He has a song called "Kill You," and another rip the sawed off and beat you with the piece that's sawed off on. I mean, come on.
I mean, like it's. it'd be
Oh,
like
he's
throwing
definitely got some
Stan
stuff
out
that
there.
goes. I mean, yeah, but you started talking about like some of the stuff that he did. Like,
Oh, it's pretty nasty.
I saw a video the other day about like one of his biggest regrets was the fact that
3 a.m.
no, it's the fact that he brought in his daughter into a lot of his stuff, and he was like, "Listen, she was the thing that got me." Refocus back into what I was doing, and this is when I really took off, and this is when I started a tour. And he was very pulled of like, I do this for her, but then I can't be around her. And the relationship that he had with the mom was not good, but like there was all this stuff about
in the movie.
she's going to college, she's like crazy successful, she's like, my dad's always around supporting stuff. She's like, he comes to all my stuff, but people just don't know he's there a lot of times. Like he hides out. He doesn't want to draw all the attention. Like I just want to be there and see the stuff that she gets to do. But he's like, that's my biggest regret is I wish I hadn't brought her in. But I feel like if he hadn't brought her in, that was such an important part of his life and the realness of his music. And if he hadn't done that, like would it have been what it was?
Well, I mean, I think, and that's one of the crazy parts to me on it is where he's come to now. After all of that, doing the hate thing, that calling Trump out and all that stuff, like I don't care where you're at on that side, but I listen to music not to have that in my life. Like, you know.
Well, and he's a great storyteller. Like, think about
it's like the whole Nipsey Hussle thing when that went down and he got shot and all that stuff. Like, his music was about the neighborhood and good things. Like, he was about raising up a community. It wasn't necessarily about all the craziness on it. And I'm not saying that Nipsey Hussle was as big of a saint in music as he was as a person in his community.
Well, and there's allegedly a documentary coming out about him that was like being worked on, and then
no doubt,
Nick Cannon was like, "I want to pick it back up" or something like that. There was a whole
talking about an Eminem.
I was about to say, you want to talk about the Eminem drama? Do you even know about that? The fact that Eminem hooked up with Mariah Carey, and there's like a whole like they wrote songs to it. They wrote she wrote "Obsessed with Me" or "Obsessed" is the name of the song. Why You So Obsessed with Me? And that's about Eminem when he's coming out with all this stuff, and she's like, why are you making up all this stuff? And he's like, he has songs that are like, I've got voicemails, I've got all this stuff. He's like, well, and he's like, listen, you're going to talk about he openly admits, he's like, listen, we didn't have sex for very long. Like, I prematurely, he like throws it out there. He's like, anything that you would burn me with, I'm just going to put it out here. Yeah. And that's his 8 Mile thing is the final rap in 8 Mile is when he's like, this dude's going to get up here and he's going to talk shit. And it's like, I take away all your ammo. He's always been good at that. But that was always one of the most fascinating things to me is when you learn about they were indirectly talking shit to each other through these songs that they were writing.
While she was married to Nick Cannon? Or?
No. This was like while she was like dating him or something. Young. Yeah, and like Nick Cannon allegedly sent a letter to him or something. Like, there was all this ridiculous stuff. Like he didn't really have any option. It's like I got to stand up for her, but I can't rap battle him because Nick Cannon's terrible and Eminem is the best of all time. And it's like, what's this guy got to do? Step up to me, like please.
Come on, go wild and out.
And listen, Machine Gun Kelly's probably one of the only ones that had balls enough to actually step up to him recently
and remotely even compete.
Yeah, and so they had like a battle like 4 or 5 years ago or something like that, maybe 3 years ago. Yeah,
well, I think the basis of this entire thing is it gets obnoxious because it's kind of like Kid Rock going out there and doing a 2A like a pro 2A song,
right?
Like, I mean, you had a really, in my opinion, God bless you, horrible song with Sheryl Crow.
Yes.
Never heard it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
How have you never heard it? It's like on
dude, it was all it was all over. It was all over everything. It was like one of his like trying to change this up and do everything, and he was trying to go the collaborative route, but the direction that he went was terrible.
This is Kid Rock with Sheryl Crow.
Yeah,
the duet song. Oh, it's atrocious.
It's bad. Like, listen, there's Aerosmith and Run DMC getting together, which changed the game forever. And then there's what Kid Rock did, and you're like, you ruined collaborations.
So this is the reason why people make fun of things like Three Doors Down. And what was the conversation we were having with?
I love Three Doors Down.
It was the Three Doors Down. It was Linkin Park. It was Puddle of Mud.
You're talking about all the stuff I grew up on. I love every single one of those.
Same thing.
Oh,
yeah,
Creed.
Creed.
Creed,
That was the other
Nickelback. They're all in the same like.
Speaking of Nickelback, don't let me forget. That's a good segue for this.
So they're perfect.
The segue into what?
I got one.
I got a small rebuttal to your Eminem thing.
Please,
so the perfect thing about that is like they're all formulated music.
Oh,
it's music that's formulated. I mean, if we were to hire Scooter Braun, we could have a multi-platinum deal next week.
Everyone wonders why all the music sounds the same right now. It's because people like Ed Sheeran are writing it.
Right.
Everyone hires him.
Nicole Scherzer.
Yeah.
Writing it.
Everyone hires these same guys. The guy from One Republic. Like, these are the guys that have shown the talent to repeatedly just write these catchy songs.
When it's all the same
one guy wrote all the pop music for the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, wrote all their hits. And Max Martin is worth more money than all of them. Well, he's worth $500 million.
Well, they were also all getting screwed at one point in time.
And the crazy thing about
with
that
their
is
situations,
when there's no other music to be played by it, the radio's playing that music, so it becomes pop music.
Yeah,
that's how it take that. I mean, it's a simple supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Cardi B would be garbage if she didn't have.
Cardi B is garbage. That is your correction right there. Cardi B is garbage.
She would be nothing if she didn't have $50 million of marketing revenue sitting behind her. I mean, she is garbage.
She's
100% garbage. Missy E will walk her down the park with her rapping, but because she has $50 million of record label backing, she's going to be multi-platinum.
I like Cardi B, so it's fine. I think she's funny.
I could be a senator.
Yeah, did you read that? And so Mindy Robinson.
Listen, she's funny though. Like she posts that video about people like, oh, you're showing. She had this video of her naked sideways, and she's like, everybody's saying that I'm showing my, you know what? And she's like, this is my ass. And then she's like, this is where this is. You cannot see. Like she's ridiculous.
She's also the one who was showing a thong. Like all she wore
She's
was
level
a
10
t-shirt.
ridiculous.
All she wore was a T-shirt to a Lakers game.
No, that was the fat one.
That's Cardi B.
No, it wasn't Cardi B.
Who
It
was
was starts with an L.
Your descriptions are great. We're gonna get.
Lizzo.
Sorry.
Lizzo's the one.
That's a little.
I really wish we could cut that because we're about to get crucified for statements like that.
My apologies.
Oh.
That was the first thing.
I'm just glad
Just
it was
skip 15 seconds ahead. We'll be fine. No. So I brought up the Nickelback
Sorry,
thing.
Nickelback us.
Tom, you want
Yeah.
to share your address with everybody?
So
Mail complaints to.
another thing on Twitter that was going around is Nickelback released this like some teaser video that's like dropping hints of like they're gonna be coming out with another album. Apparently,
They dropping dimes.
they dropped like some
No, there's
video.
two of them. 2 nickels back.
2 nickels.
Yep.
When do I get my nickel back?
Dad joke of the year.
When do I get my nickel back?
When do I get my nickels back? All right, so what's the story on that? I mean, do you know anything about it?
I mean, I didn't even read into it. It was just they dropped like a video. It's a guy that's digging up the ground in the desert. He finds a box. There's a girl. She's got a bandana around her face. She's sitting in a car.
This
like
is music that should have never been made on the box.
Listen,
Sounds like
I
a
know that
Nickelback video
everyone hates it. I liked Nickelback when I was growing up. It fed into all the other ones. They know the song, so that's the thing. Is it still worked?
So what was your segue? Where were we going with this?
He wanted to
That's
see the
what I was
nickels
literally
coming back.
talking about. I wish you would have been
Nickelback,
locked
there
in for that.
wasn't
I know
more?
we lost you for the 2 seconds about music.
Nickel wants.
If we don't talk cars and engraving stuff, Scott's out.
I mean, cars engraving Pornhub. I mean, that's
So-
how you get my.
Or TikTok. Sorry, I got to make sure
TikTok.
we get that in there as well.
So
No,
I'm
I
gonna
just brought that up.
I'm going to counterpoint a couple things on the Eminem.
Okay.
All right, he's always been very hyper political. He's had songs like Mosh.
Right.
He's had songs like White America. Very, very.
Tom, you gotta understand something. Jason's getting old.
But that's
he's
when we
listening
were
to this
young
around
and we
his
watched
birth-
Hashtag
Cool.
birthday.
I know, but back then he was like,
Hashtag
he
HBD.
didn't know what he knows now. Now he's like, this is very insensitive music.
Well, if you look back on it, yeah, it's like
No,
when he
like-
goes F. Bush like multiple times, and he goes, "If I get sniped tonight, you know why?" You're just like, whoa,
But it's
that's
also
aggressive.
probably the fact that it's more prevalent now and all the shit that's out
Right.
there, and so you're like,
Yes.
I don't need it in my music too. That's probably
I don't
the
need
biggest.
it.
Yeah,
instance.
I don't need it in the whole album. Well,
Yeah.
Throughout, like,
What's
first
it like
off-
being old?
You tell me.
You tell us.
You tell us. Graybeard.
Do you think it is because we're more sensitive to it now than we were younger listening to it?
You are definitely way more sensitive now than before. Yes.
You've got children.
I
I would say I definitely am. I'm probably, if I listen to it a few times and you're saying stuff that I'm pretty
There's
against,
a reason.
I'm probably gonna shut it
There's
off.
a
Dude,
reason
it's even
you're
watching
playing
movies
Journey
on
for
Disney
your
Plus.
kids and not
Now, when I
having-
let my kid watch some of them, and I'm like, damn, this is way more intense than I remembered.
Oh yeah,
Seriously though, I mean, think about it.
Bluto and Popeye, that dude's straight rapist.
right.
I'm not watching that stuff.
Dude, you watch some of this stuff.
No way.
My mother-in-law's letting my daughter watch Bambi, and she's like, I had to fast forward through some of this. Like, she's like, it's terrible.
True.
And I'm like,
It's like shit.
you don't.
You should try some Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it's like you remember
Oh,
this stuff.
yeah,
It's
right?
like
Well,
it's like
Elmer
the
Fudd,
classics.
Shotgun blast to the face.
but
Death.
all right, so that, I guess that runs
Well,
into a
well,
question.
that,
Like, what
you've
is
got-
what is your perception of that? Because I mean, our parents obviously weren't that afraid of that back then, and
No, it was just commonplace.
right. Hey, but it wasn't Call of Duty, so therefore it's not.
No, it was
aggressive.
Wolfenstein 3D, and it was like, and mom and dad were playing it too, so it wasn't terrible.
And
Doom.
it's funny and it's.
Doom.
Have you played the
Nukem.
reboot of that game?
No, have they?
Alright,
Duke
they had
Nukem, yes. Now you're speaking my language. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the episode. We're going to figure out a way to download this shit. We'll be back next time. I'm just kidding.
We're actually really close to making it.
There's a cash up. You want to dance?
We'd be
Let's
going
go.
into extra overtime.
Well,
Yeah.
they have a new Doom out there, and I played it
I heard about
a
that.
lot for a couple. I was having straight nightmares. How like aggressive
Really?
that game was.
Really?
And
I just remember being young and we're like walking through and I'm like, my stepdad's playing. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And he's like, oh, it's a cake. And I'm like, that doesn't look like cake. And he's like, it's made out of skulls. And I'm like, oh. okay.
Now I get it.
And it's like, yeah, you got to get through this thing, and these things will jump out. And I'm like, I was little. I'm like, oh, and then like later you're like, yes.
Oh, it was scary back then at that age, like 12 years old or whatever, 10 when that game came out, and I first played it on the computer. I was like,
so if you had to pick a game that you're like, secretly I'm like pretty good at this, like if I got challenged in something, like that's the game I'm gonna pick, what would it be?
Tony Hawk.
Nice. That's a good pick.
Tony Hawk 2.
That's a good pick.
Tony Hawk 2.
So it's a kind of a cross.
This is a favorite game?
No, this is if let's just say some random challenge got thrown out and it's like you get to pick, and you're like, and it's in a video game, like what video game are you gonna pick that you think? We already know yours is Dance Dance Revolution. It's fine.
Hit the whoa. So I know I can beat Mario 1 in under 5 minutes.
I was about to say mine is total Mario.
I can beat it in
awesome.
under 5 minutes.
Really?
Awesome.
Yeah.
From the opening scene.
You're talking with he knows all the
Is
jumps
it
and all that
world
stuff.
record,
Like,
All
yeah.
the jumps, cut to
3:15,
4, cut
3
to
minutes and
8,
50
go through
seconds.
the
Oh,
final
it's
record.
like in the 2s, I think, actually.
No?
There's
Okay.
there's a whole, you want to talk about a genre of like really diving in, there's like all these records and all this stuff. There
Yeah.
was recently some people got busted for cheating.
Yeah,
They're like it's actually not in the program to be able to do that. This dude had a score that's 3 seconds faster than it's actually
Well, so,
possible.
I mean, so that's the thing.
That's
It's like,
unbelievable.
as soon as it starts, I push the forward button and I hold it
Yep.
flat down the entire time. Jump through it. I can finish.
It's not about getting all the stuff. It's about
Well, it makes sense. It's all rhythm. I mean, if you're on it, you can create enough muscle memory to do that rhythm.
Right.
I was about to say Streets of Rage might be the next one.
Then after that, it's
Sega Genesis. Streets of Rage 2, actually.
It's
Sorry.
any one of the GTAs after that.
Yeah.
So the first GTA came out.
So I bring that up because the opposite of that for me would be Call of Duty, which you referenced. Like it took me a while when I was in chiropractic school. That was our mental break to not. We would study, and then we would sit there and play Call of Duty. Dude, I am so bad at it. I'm like the person that's like shooting at someone, and I'm like, I just hold down the trigger, and I'm like, it's just going everywhere. Eventually, I got better, but I'm like, still, there's guys out there that like zoom in with their scope once, and they're like, boom. Boom, you're dead. Like you just watch guys that just like snipe people off, and you're like, how did that guy just do that?
It's N64 Bond. 007.
Dude, the laptop gun.
Everybody says
But you
that.
have to, so it's the same.
Bro,
thing
the
with Call of Duty.
laptop gun though. You got to get the laptop gun.
You have to know. You have to know where all the spawn.
It's a laptop gun.
You have to know where the spawn
No idea.
positions are. So that's how you can beat
Like
anybody in
Egypt?
Yeah, because you know where they're gonna be.
You know where they're coming back at. That's
Bro,
how
the
Call of
laptop
Duty
gun is
such
one
a
of the
good
better
game.
weapons.
I'm gonna have to Google that because
I swear
don't
that's that
remember
game,
the
Goldeneye,
laptop.
laptop
I
gun.
think we need to do a free play night and go hit some Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
That's what we
dude.
need to do.
Studio game night. Well, hey, it's about
Just
time
don't play me in Street Fighter. I'll whoop your ass. Ask Sarah Smith.
Oh, I think there was a call out there, sir.
Why you beat her in
I like a little Liu
Free
Kang
Fire.
action.
Bro, I whooped her like the entire night. She was so pissed. We went and did something there. So,
Some Mortal
don't be so
Kombat.
brewed at free play. Come meet us. Apparently, this is going to be a thing.
We should totally do it. Finish him.
I just got the Sega Genesis, like the mini, so I can
you
bring
have
it up
that.
here.
I
We
have
can
that.
hook it.
Yeah,
We
that's
can,
cool.
and I've got the Nintendo.
I have
got
the
the
PlayStation
Nintendo
1
too.
and the Nintendo, so we have 3 Nintendos.
I've been asking
son.
for that for a while.
So
Pulling
Tom's
it
going to
up.
be joining us back up here, and we'll just kick the camera on. We'll be
That's
facing
if
this
I'm
way, and
allowed
we'll be.
I'm allowed to be back. We'll see.
Playing video games.
See how much hate mail comes in from us.
You know how I know?
Comment.
You know how I know this was good is because
it
there's
depends
still
if-
shit
it
left on the
depends if
board that
Tebow
didn't
has
get
a-
hit. I'm like, that's how I know it was
Depends if
good.
Tebow has a little boy or a little girl, whether Tom comes back or not.
No, you know that's gonna happen in 9 months. He's gonna have a kid.
months. 8.5 months.
It's like, what happened? It's like, what do you think happened? Game on.
Just like
She was like, condom. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're good.
No dong bags for me.
All right, Brandon. How about you kick us out of here?
Me? I don't start this.
You always start this.
No, I throw it over to.
That's why I
Actually,
wanted you to-
Tom, if there's anything that you would love to put out there, if you
like
want
your
people to
Instagram
find you on the
handle,
medias,
you know.
if you don't want to, don't.
I wouldn't pitch your organization you work for.
Nah, I mean, at Tom KCIV on Instagram is probably the best, but I don't really share much except for me cooking, so it's really
Where's
really
the name?
uneventful.
Where's the name come from?
His dad and his granddad.
I'm assuming is that like a line,
Yeah,
and
the
so
four-
that's like
yeah.
that's the number. Yeah. Okay.
on Quattro, as you guys call it in Texas. Apparently, you say Quattro.
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 All right, perfect. So, yeah, if you guys want to do that, you can follow us along for our journey where we'll keep doing shit and Scott will take shits. Scott, back to you.
Always losing weight.
Back to me. Final thoughts. All right, so
Deep
we'll
thoughts by Jack Andy.
we'll throw a dad pun out there. What does a zombie vegetarian eat? Great.
I was about to say, I knew the answer. I'm the master. No, I knew that one. I'm like, I'm the master of the dad joke. Do you want me to start busting them if I know
I
it?
do want you to start busting.
Okay.
I've
If I know it, I'm going to start busting you because Jason's trying to call me that I don't know
I'm gonna
these.
throw another one out. I mean, he's got a calendar.
I've legit
Let's do it.
thought about
He does have a
doing
dad
like a
calendar.
stand-up set where you like dress up like a dad. So you wear like dad
Socks
jeans.
with sandals.
Bro,
No,
you get
no,
the
no,
New
wear
Balance?
the
You get the
white
New
New
Balance
Balance, the white New
380s?
Socks with
Yeah.
sandals.
All right,
And you just go up there and just
shorts.
say dad jokes.
Bro, I'm down. Let's
like,
go.
You wear like a t-shirt.
Open mic
like,
night.
TWA
Open mic
has
night.
open
Just
mic
the
night.
four of us just go up there. It's like, what the hell is this? Bro, you are killing this.
We just, no, we'll just stand.
We'll just
all
wear Don't Be
four-
So Brewed shirts.
We'll all stand four in line.
Man, there's
And
some
just
good
hand the
ones
mic
here, but
down.
they're all one-liners. I thought about going on an all-almond diet, but that's just nuts, right?
But you just gotta like look at the.
Even if
crowd
you
and
waited
be
a second, I think I could figure that out. I think y'all could have too. It's not like that's a special talent. I'm like,
So,
Atheism is a non-profit organization.
But
what did
Prophet.
Prophet.
what did Chewbacca win when he played his first year in the Major League Baseball? Wookiee of the year.
Rookie of the year.
I was like trying to
That's
think
my
of like,
I was thinking it was gonna be all.
I thought there was going to be a sound. Yeah, I was like trying to figure out. I was like,
How did Darth Vader know what Luke got him for Christmas? He felt his presence.
that's kind of that sounded a little dirty. Okay, Jason, you.
Like always, folks, don't forget to like, follow, share, check us out on YouTube. Don't Be So Brewed podcast, and don't forget when we're live to come check us out.
They don't have finger boots.
It's Jason's birthday. We need more subscribers. I'm Dr. Brandon Brown, and I
Don't
approve this
disappoint.
message.
Don't disappoint people. Make it happen. Make it happen. Do it now.
Happy
Thanks,
birthday.
y'all.